Hi everyone, today we're doing Lookup CTF on TryHackMe. So let's have a look at the nmap scan. So we get two ports up, which is port 22 SSH and port 80 web server. So let's add this to our sector host file first before we look at the web server. So we're going to do sudo nano etc host. And now we're in a sector host, paste in the IP address, and let's put in lookup.tryhackme. Let's press X and Y and save it. Now let's do http://lookup.tryhackme and let's press enter. So we're greeted with a login page. Let's put admin and we get redirected. So we can't really do any password attacks on this web page as it'll time us out every 3 seconds. So let's have a look at the page source and we just get login.php. So we get absolutely nothing in login.php, so it's pretty much just useless to get anything out of it. So one thing we can do now is just open up burpsuite. So let's open up another tab and let's just put in burpsuite. You don't need to put -q. We're just putting burpsuite in. So let's just press next and next. Well, and start burpsuite. So while that's happening, let's go to our tab. Let's close this from our last tab. So let's go back into Firefox and let's put in proxy and let's put in burp. And let's make sure our interceptor's on. So let's go to proxy and let's turn this on. So now our interceptor is on. So let's put in admin, and now we got to send to our proxy. So let's right click on this first and type send to repeater, and let's click here to repeat. As you can see, it's glowing. So let's press send and we get a response. One thing that is interesting is like the content length, as this could tell us some username enumeration. So we can just put in anything random, and let's just see if we put maybe a different username or just some random stuff, and we get 74. So let's just change this to something else like AD, and let's send and see if the content length changes. We still get 74, but if we do it with admin, the content length is different, which could tell us that this is a user on the system. As we see, it's 62. So since we know there's a user called admin, we could try some fuzzing. We could try to fuzz this login form here. So let's just disable this and let's just reload this web page. Resend, and let's just go back to here and let's just type in fuff. We want to use a tool fuff, and I'll talk you through this quickly after I set this up right. Let's put this to admin and we want to put this to fuzz. Let's put fuzz here and change this quickly. Password. So okay, I'll walk you through all this command. So this is fuff. We're going to try a fuzz login form, and this is W. This is the word list we're going to use, which is user share word list sec list. If you don't have sec list, install it. You can install it on GitHub or through Kali Linux by doing sudo apt install. And we're using the 200 most used passwords, and we're going to use .x, and that's the type of request to send. We're going to send a post request, as where we have a login form here. As the type of sending is a login form with the UTF typing, and we have the URL is here, which will be our lookup.login.php page, and the d is for our username, which is equal to admin, and our password, which is equal to fuzz, as we're going to try to fuzz the passwords, as we think we have a user called admin on the server. So let's fuzz this. And as you see, we get words.8. So this is just a server sending us random stuff to try to throw us off. So let's do -fw and put 8. Let's try this again. And we get password 123. So let's try admin password 123. And we see it's wrong. So since it says it's wrong, we may have the wrong user. We might have the right password but the wrong user. So what we could do is just change this to password 123. And let's just change this to fuzz. So let's try to fuzz this part of the login form. So we want to fuzz the username here. So let's remove the words, filter words, as that's going to be wrong because it's just going to give us a different filter count. So let's go username, and you'd want to use, let's use top. Let's just use this one here. Hopefully this one's right. And let's just press enter, and we get words 10. So let's do filter words .10 and just wait. Okay, let's try another one instead. So let's just try this one here, as this one may give us better results. Let's just press enter. So you want to fuzz the web page with this user, with this list, and we want to use post X. I'm just going to send post request, and this is our URL which we're going to send it to, and -d, as this is the login form parameters, as we're going to try to fuzz the username as we got the password. So let's just press enter. We're filtering by 10 words. So we get a user called Josie. So let's put Josie and let's put the password 123. And we're getting sent to another page here, which is files.lookup.tryhackme. So let's add this to our set process. Do sudo nano etc host. Let's just put files.tryhackme, files.lookup, well, yeah, files.lookup.tryhackme. So let's just put files, and let's just save this onto our etc host file. So let's just press Y and enter. So if you refresh this page, we should get access to the web page. So one of the first things that threw me up first when I went into the login page is that I went to credential.txt, and it shows a username and a password, which is think and no password, which I tried to put on SSH, but it would not work as this is not the right credentials for the user. So what I figured out was just trying to send a reverse shell to the web server, but it wouldn't work as it's just configured right to serve. So you want to click here on the question mark, and it tells us the version. And what we could do is open up Metasploit. So we can do msf console-q, as that one shows the first image that pops up, the logo image. So we can see we have an outdated version of lfinder, and we could try to find some vulnerabilities on Metasploit. So we're on msf console, so let's just search lfinder, let's just press enter, and the one we want to use is number 4. We could try some other ones, but I'm pretty sure most of these don't work because I've tried them in the past, and number 4 was the only one that would work for me. So let's just do options. And one thing that may be a bit complicated is that normally you set it to the IP address, but since it's a subdomain we're enumerating, we want to do files.lookup.tryhackme. As we just put in the IP address, it won't like enumerate the actual subdomain that this is on. So we want to set lhost. So if you do if config, it shows us our ton0 IP address. If I can find it, it should be here somewhere. I can't find it, but if you go here, it'll show you your ton0 IP address, as it'll be here where it says dev.ton0. So if you just put set lhost and put in the IP address of us, well, my machine, you want to put your OpenVPN IP address in. So we can see this looks like it's all set up right. So let's just do run, and hopefully we get a reverse shell. So guys, we can see we have a Metasploit session open. So if you just do shell, and this should just give us a fully a shell. We want to create a fully interactive shell by going to, I'm going to go to CD downloads. I'm going to cut TTL. What you can do if you don't have this saved is go online and type in python TTL shell, and this should be one of the, if you go onto one of the web pages, it should hopefully come up. If not, you can just copy mine up. You can copy this command here, as this will give us a TTL shell. So let's do ls first of all, and we can see we have some directories open, and now we have a proper cell. And if we do find / this will search the whole system, and if we do -type f, we'll be looking for files, and we do -u name, and if we do user.txt, as we're gonna look for files that would have the name user.txt. If we do 2, which will stand for standard error, and we'll send that to dev null. So we'll just get rid of anything that's wrong. So we get home.think user. So if we just do ls again to try to fix shell with shell, get out of this. Actually, no. Okay, and let's just do shell again, as that just crashed. So okay guys, if we cut that out at the top, which is here, so let's just copy this, and let's just put this in, and let's just see if we have permissions, and we do not have permissions. So okay, we can look for some SUIDs that are interested. So let's just search, I think it's /perm /400, 4000, and we want to do 2 dev null, as we want to look for permission files that have 4000. So let's just search for them. And one that looks interesting is this one here, as I tried to look at all these here before, but none of them were any use, and the only one that worked was this one here. So if we cd into this user, let's just list this out first. ls.user.sbin-pw. Whoops, actually, I messed that up as well. Let's just put mwm, and and it says root and root. So this is owned by root, and one thing that stuck me for a while is that if we run this here, if you just run this in our terminal, it will ask us for a couple of things. it asks us for an ID. So pretty much what this is going to go into is session hijacking or ID hijacking, as it isn't set properly. So one thing we can do now is just do echo path, and we normally have ID here somewhere that would show us that ID is set, but we don't. So the ID isn't set on this machine, so we can change it. So since this command is asking for an ID, we can change the ID to think ID, as we have a user called think. Let's do export path dot equal to temp dot path. So you press enter there. We've changed that, so now we need to do echo dot path. Let's press enter again. Now we want to cut temp dot ID, and we don't have temp dot ID, so we'll need to create it. So since we don't have it created, let's create it now. So let's do echo, and we want to put in double quotes. Well, let's put a single quote in and put bin /bin bash, and we want to put in a one little quotation and a /temp dot ID. Let's press enter on that, and we've created that. So now we want to echo UID equals 33 dot think GD equals 33 think. Close that again. Put in group. So you want to put in, as this is the user's ID, so we just want to put that in. Put in think and close that, and with a single quotation, and we want to do 2 of those to send that to the ID that we created into temp folder. So what we need to actually do is just put in echo again, and we'll need to close it. So put echo, and we'd want to copy this here, UID to ID. Well, UID I think, as I've missed one part, which was echo, and we want to just send that to the temp directory, temp.id, press enter, and now that's worked. So we want to do change mod.+x.temp ID, and then we want to export that as a path to temp.path. Now we've done all that again. Hopefully this should work. So if we do user.sbin.powm, and we get a word list. So what we need to do is just save this and let's run Hydra. So let's just copy all these words, well, all the passwords, and let's copy this, and let's hopefully run Hydra. Do ls Hydra, change this. So we'll do Hydra SSH, as we'll need to put in the user think here, and we want to use the word list which we create. Well, actually we need to create a word list first before I get ahead. So we'll need to nano pass.txt and put in all the passwords and save Y, and we'll need to do Hydra-L, and we want to use think because that's the user we're doing, and we want to do big P for word list, so we'll be doing passwords. And I always forget syntax for this. Let's just get out of here, as we don't need Meterpreter. Exit out of Metasploit. If we do Hydra, and we'll need to do this here, so we'll just need to copy this down. So let's put this here, T4, and that's the number of threads we're doing, VB for verbose, and that's our IP address we'll be doing, and we'll be doing it on SSH. Let's press enter. And once this is done, we'll be back. So guys, we can see here that we have a user on for SSH. So let's just do SSH think. Let's put in the Lookup TryHackMe. So we want to SSH as this user on the domain of lookup.tryhackme. So copy this password, and we'll need to put it in. So we put in that in, ls and cat user.txt, and we have the user flag. So put that in here. That's the user flag done. Now we'll need to do sudo-l to see what we can run as sudo password. The password is here, so let's copy this and put that in. So put that in, and we can run look. So we can go to GTFO bins and look what look does, as this is a special thing that we can probably hopefully use for some privilege escalation. Let's put in GTFO bins, and let's just open GTFO bins website. So let's just put look up, and we want to do it as sudo. So we can see file to read. So the file we could read is in the root directory, so we could just do root.txt. So we can just do root/root.txt. So that's the file we want to read. So let's just run this here. So let's just copy this and run this, and we have the root flag, so we can copy this in and put this in our root flag, and we've pretty much done the room.